In this video, I'm going to go over EDT, or escalating density training. So the idea here is it's typically a timed set, and then you're alternating usually between 2 exercises, sometimes up to 3 exercises, and you're usually doing in the 6 to 12 rep range. The idea here is that you're doing a high density of work. That means you're doing the most amount of work in the shortest period of time. So by alternating between 2 or 3 complementary exercises that are not targeting the same muscle group, it allows you to spread out the fatigue while still getting a large amount of fatigue in a local muscular group, but having some active rest. So for example, you're gonna do something like a pressing exercise and then a pulling exercise. Or on the lower body, you might do lower body exercise paired with a core exercise or an upper body thing. So for this demonstration, I'm going to do some bent over rows and some push-ups. And the idea here is you want no rest between exercises or between rounds. So for example, I'm gonna do some bent over rows. I'm gonna do 8 of those, and I'm gonna drop down 8 push-ups right back to the rows. So you can rest just as much as needed to maintain quality, but in general, if you are not able to stay to that 6 to 12 rep range, like you can't get 6 quality reps without extending your rest, you have too much load. If you can do 12 reps or more, alternating back and forth over the allotted time, and it's not hard halfway through, you're not having to drop the reps. So initially you might be in that 10 to 12 reps range, and then it drops down towards 6 to 8. Then you need to up the load. So for example, it's gonna look something like this. So at 8 rows, and then immediately into the push-ups. So I did 8, now I'm gonna go back to my rows, same deal, 8 of them. You wanna focus on breathing the entire time, so you're not holding your breath while you're working, where you'll accumulate fatigue much faster. And I would just keep going for the allotted time. And as a general rule of thumb, if you're about halfway through, you're still cruising at the speed that I'm doing it at, it's not enough load. You should have a little bit heavier load to where you're having to drop into that lower rep range. You still have full range of motion, nice and controlled movements, and you're not grinding out reps, but it should be difficult. The idea here is to accumulate a good amount of fatigue toward the end of these sets.